Well, let's see how this one goes. We can go with either Niles or Nennet. So let's just go with Niles. The other ones weren't too bad, so I'm not too worried about Dorno. And pop goes Dorno, and there is our Admiral. This is a pretty cool chess piece, actually. The best thing on it is that it checks the monster elemental resistance and then resists your elemental damage based on the lowest one. Yo, that is a ridiculous chess piece. That's tier 1 strength, and then tier... Oh, it's actually 3 life mods. No, 2 life mods. And then a hybrid defense mod. That is really good. Time to do a double heist, because I found another one while I was getting the reveals. So, we have... Oh, wow, Shatter Shard. That is a unique. Then we have Replica Ambush, Frenzy, Pulverize, and Advancing Fortress. Yeah, I'm taking the Shatter Shard, 100%. For Ahwing number 2, we have Volker's Guidance. I see a Bitter Dream, Advancing Fortress, Scorching Ray, and Veil of the Night. What do we have? Dual Strike, Infractum, Fencoil, Life One Hit, Corrupting Fever. I don't know, Dual Strike. How the hell did I manage to trip the alarm? Jesus Christ. Show me what you got. Last Resort, Predator, Intensify, Bones, and Advancing Fortress. So I ended up taking the Predator, Scorching Ray, and then the Shatter Shard, which is a Heist unique. And I actually had to look this up because I never had this. So it's like a solid shield, and then it triggers Shield Shatter, which does fizz damage to enemies around you when you block. And then it adds fizz damage, like flat fizz damage to spells while it's shattered. But you can't block while your shield is shattered. Wow, that is an Astral Plate, alright. Look at this thing. Loads of armor, good life, and a ton of life regen with T1 Cold Dress. That is nuts. Yeah, I can't do this. Yeah, just non-stop banners. Unfortunate. Yeah. Pretty much what I expected, though. Okay, we finally managed to get enough intelligence to do the intervention safe house, so let's go get some scarabs. How many do we get at rank 3? Still only 1, but at least it's gilded, so we can use it on red maps. Which is, why we did this. And I chose specifically Harbinger Scarabs from Tora, and then Expedition Scarabs from Yanis. So I managed to somehow get an entire stack of Valorbs, and I have a ton of jewels, and I want to corrupt them to maybe break them into unique jewels. So let's start from the bottom, and right off the bat we get a Soul's Wick. That is not the correct Spectre jewel, but it's nice to have nonetheless. Nothing, you know what, I'll just go. That's a Fragility. That's one of the conversion. Another, oh, okay. Oh, wow, okay, that went better than expected. A lot of fragility. Then Inertia for Dex transformed into Strength. Efficient Training for Int into Strength. And then Brute Force Solution for Strength into Int. And the Soul Wake. Yeah, this actually pretty good. Alright, time for another heistery do. So, we have Less Duration, Karui Ward. What is that? Vicious Projectiles, Crit Strikes, and Blade Blast. Replica Harvest, Hex Touch, Leercast, Emberwake, and Ancestor Protector. Red Trail, Replica Dream Feather again, we have both of those. Oro Sacrifice, Energy Leech, and Bitter Dream. So in the end, I took Energy Leech for more damage on full energy shield, then Hex Touch, which increases damage against the enemy, and Vicious Proj, which gives you a chance to impale. So, I know it's a bit sad, but we're gonna retire the Guardian and a few of the other characters. It's time to clean up the account a little bit and yeah, start being a little bit more realistic over here. Goodbye, Pod Boy. So we ended up with Strong, which is our strength stacker, Farmer, which is our minion build, and then Dumb Boy, because I have plans for him once the league rolls over into the next one. Why hello there, it's Editor Me, and I am here to explain what happened in the next 4 days following the last clip. Basically, I wanted to utilize the sixling staff that we got last time, but because I'm me, I couldn't do something normal or sensible, so I started leveling a mana stacking Hierophant. Now this wouldn't be that bad of an idea a couple of leagues ago, especially since we managed to get some really nice mana gear. At first I wanted to play Stormbrand, then I bounced into Mana Bond, then Stormcold, then I played Arc for a little bit, and I ended up on Ball Lightning until eventually I ended up switching into Crackling Lance. Now, leveling the character was an absolute pleasure. The character was super tanky and it did really good damage right until I got into maps and I equipped the 6ling, at which point everything went to hell. I, for the life of me, could not get enough mana sustain. I actually ended up leveling the character up to about level 83, and I did everything I could to fix the mana sustain, and I eventually did. I ended up farming Ritual to get this special glove base that gives you a chance to recover mana whenever you spend it on a skill. However, since I was playing a mana stacker, I couldn't reserve any auras onto my mana, so I ended up being extremely squishy, because on top of not being able to reserve any mana for defensive auras, you also can't really pick up much defense because you want to get as much mana as possible. So while I fought tooth and nail to get the character to as high of a level as possible to pick up more passives and pick up more stuff on the tree, I eventually retired it at around level 82. Which leads us to our second character, a Summon Holy Relic champion. Now this isn't as bad of an idea as it might sound, because you get juiced up Fortify, so you're really tanky, allowing you to cyclone on top of enemies even as a minion build, and the Master of Metal node adds a bunch of extra flat physical damage for you and nearby allies against impaled enemies, and this isn't limited to attacks, so you can use it to buff Holy Relics as well. This character did significantly better. I actually managed to push all the way into red maps before I hit level 80. But it was incredibly messy. It actually made my eyes hurt if I played it for too long because of the constant flashing of the Holy Relics and offerings. It also tanked my performance quite a bit, so the game would constantly scale the graphics down, so the recordings looked like ass, and since I was a champion, I didn't have a ton of defense for the minions, so if I ran into a bad mod like Snowbolt on hit or the Lightning Totems, the relics would just get one shot. So I retired that guy as well, gave the stuff back to the Necromancer for absolution, and I made myself a Righteous Fire Juggernaut. Because while the DPS on Righteous Fire Juggernaut isn't super good, they are unstoppable, super tanky, and just fun to play. Also, I got an absolutely awesome clip while leveling the Juggernaut. I can't move! It's faster than I recover. But because I'm a jug, he gives me more regen every time he hits me. Oh, I love Juggernauts, man. But hey, we have another... Nope, never mind. That is not a dancing duo. That is a Hiltless. That's a pretty good 2H sword. That's like a solid sword to begin with. Yeah, it has a life tap on it. And it does damage to you when you hit stuff. Okay, that's a Mercenary's Lot, right? Yes. So, it like transfers marks. And then you get more damage, or increased damage rather, against marked enemies. That's kind of okay, I guess. Finally get to do another heist. It's been a while. I spy with my little eye, Armageddon Brand, Mana Forged Arrows, ooh, spicy, spicy, Last Resort, and we top it off with Alpha's Howl again, and Malachi's Artifice. Explosive Concoction, Pierce, I already have that. Then we have Laviana's Spirit. What is that? Wings of Entropy, okay, and Lioness Pulse. And you're taking Mana Forged Arrows. I imagine this is pretty popular in Trade League right now, and the Explosive Concoction, which is okay, gives you more crit. Let's see if this is true. I saw on Reddit that, yep, if you look at the map, you crash. Fantastic. Which one are you? Ooh, Ming's Heart. That's pretty spicy. Ming's Heart is cool. That's not what I remember. That's a lot less alive. It's just reduced though. It's not less actually. That is a lot of damage in Chaos Res. And it's like, that's not that difficult to build around. 25% reduced life, that's like 2 life clusters. And you get effectively capped Chaos Res. And then a ridiculous amount of Physics Extra Chaos. This would be awesome for like, I don't know, Poison Blade Vortex or something like that. I would like Malevolence Aura effect, please. Thank you very much. Okay, we have another double heist, and both of them are actually 3 wings, so this is gonna be really nice. Malachi's Artifice, Fire Penetration, Stampede, Bane, and Fortify. I want something spicy. Show me something good. Sigil of Power, Life Leech, Void Eye, it's Innsbury Edge, and Flesh and Stone. Oh, wowee. In wing number 3, we have Perfect Form, Tempestuous Steel, Bloodthorn, Bones, and ooh, Reckless Defense. For our second heist, we get Inia's Epiphany, Warlord's Mark, Infractum, Stampede, and ooh, Herald of Agony. I see Power Charge on Crit, Burning Damage, Twitzel, Or a sacrifice again? That seems to be pretty common actually. And last resort. And the final wing of this expedition has multiple traps, red trail again, heartbreaker, spectral helix, and lightning penetration. So I actually ended up taking mostly gems. We have a lightning penetration for increased effect of lightning elements, so shock and sap. Power charge on crit, which gives you a higher chance to get a power charge on crit. Herald of Agony, which reduces the crawler's damage, but it gives it a chance to inflict wither. Then we have Flesh and Stone for evasion and armor, which seems really good to me anyway. Then Reckless Defense, which if you're ailment immune, it's just free block. That's nice. And then we have Bane for skill effect duration. Well, okay, that's a nice drop. A 5-link astroplate, eh? The item level is a bit low, but still, that's really nice. I could wait for another one to get a higher tier, but whatever. Oh my god. Oh, that's a body armor and a half. Wow. Okay, so we get a life from the essence. Almost 2000 armor. Additional face damage reduction, which is actually really strong because I don't think that gets like changed at all as you go through the different levels. So that's true face damage reduction. And a bit of strength for good measure with cold dress. One of the things I was worried about here is actually getting the right colors because this has 180 strength requirement, so it really wants to roll red, and I need to get 3 of colors, either 3 blue or 2 blue and 1 green. But according to the Vorici calculator, even with 180 strength, the chance of hitting either of the two is about 1 in 100. Yeah, let's hope that Sanctum of Unity actually buffs Hall of Offering so that we get tier 3. So, I'm excited. In goes Study of the Vial with the Vial of Fate. When we sacrifice it, we get the Fate of the Vial. I'm being assaulted from all directions here in this glorious moment. So, this sword is awesome. It has 100% of Face converted to a random element with every hit. It always ignites, freezes, and shocks, and it does increased damage against ignited, frozen, and shocked enemies. This is such a fun sword. Show me a belt. Or a Crimson Jewel. I thought we actually had all of these. We did not have Tempered Flesh, so now we officially have all the base jewels. We might actually use this on this guy to get the extra life recovery. There we go. That did not take long at all, so we can put on the plate. So with increased AoE and life tap we're at 61k, and with Conk Effect we're at 69.5. That's pretty good. Okay, how much more armor did we get? Oh my god, 38k with Molten Shell. That'll do. I think it's time to spec away from Heist again for a little bit, because I would like to do some other things like Harvest or Abyss and that kind of stuff. Hold up, what is this shield? That is very good. That's like 1000 armor, like 120-ish life. Cold dress, 30% block with 79 life on block. Hell yeah. Feels good to not be terrified of essences anymore. Basically no matter what they roll. Oh, look at that. That is so much crafting potential. I want to try Ubelab on the Jug because Jugs are some of the best characters to run Ubelab with, especially if you're running Righteous Fire, because I mean, I'm regening like over 1000 life per second with ridiculous res. Yeah, I don't even have to turn off Righteous Fire. Even if he enrages, I can just face tank him. That is the power of the Jug. What treasures lie behind the silver door? Alberon's Warpath, the worst version of Alberon's Warpath. We already have the replica, which is strictly better. When did they change this? Yo, summoned skeleton warriors are permanent and follow you? That's kinda cool. This right here is a perfect example of why Righteous Fire Jugs are the best lab runners, because if I turn off Righteous Fire, I literally cannot die to traps. And pop goes Zara. This was very easy, bit slow, but very easy. How many keys did we end up with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I do believe that's the maximum number of keys, depending on RNG. So we should be able to open most of this. What do we get? We have some support gems. We do get 2 extra keys, so we can open almost all the boxes. And we get a return. What a run. Oh, Absolution AoE. I can put that on the +1 minion helmet that I think I have in stuffs. Yes, I do. This would be a really fun setup if skeletons weren't super squishy. That's like the main problem with skeletons. The only reason skeletons work is because you can just resummon them. They have no health. These are actually not bad. They effectively give you like explosion on kill because the impale, kind of explodes into surrounding enemies. I want to get this scepter qualityed up because eventually I want to put on a harvest enchantment. Okay, 30 quality with the only perfect fossil I have ever used in Ruthless. That'll do, I'll take it. I cannot even begin to explain how nice it feels to have a character that's just like straight up tanky. I hate, not just in Delve, but in maps as well, I hate being on high alert at all times because I'm worried about getting one-shot around every corner. I just hate that. Like when I map or I'm delving, I just want to chill and do the thing. I don't want to be constantly on edge. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, the aesthetic fossil. So we have prismatic for more elemental, aesthetic for more caster, and finally scorched for more fire. This should give us the best odds of hitting caster based fire mods and fire resistance, I guess. So come on. You absolute fanny. So here we are, at the end of yet another episode of the solo self-found Ruthless shenanigans, and I cannot believe that I managed to get this one out in time. This week was an absolute roller coaster for me. We started off with the Mana Guardian, which ended up flopping, then we had the Relic build, which was actually very good, but it made my head hurt, and then we landed on the Jug, which is absolutely fabulous. The damage on the Jug is a little bit lower, but with a character like this, you don't need a ton of DPS. It of course helps, but this kind of a character can just tank most enemies, so not killing them instantly is not a big deal. Now, my goals at the moment are to try and kill Shaper and Elder before the merge leading up to 3.22. Speaking of which, I don't know if I'm gonna be playing in the new league in 3.22 in Ruthless, because while the league mechanic looks really cool and I like the idea of passive skill tree tattoos, it just takes far too long to get going in Ruthless. Plus Sanctum is going core, so even though we're in standard, we will have a new league to play around with. I will, however, definitely level a new character once 3.22 drops, because I want to try out the new and reworked Guardian. But anyway, that's it for this week's episode of the solo self-found Ruthless nonsense. I thank you very much for watching. I would like to extend a special thank you to all the channel members. Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate it. And if you would like to become a channel member as well, you can check out the memberships down below. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.